Hello, this is Rich, and got some real exciting news for you guys. Well, at least hopefully it'll be exciting. Hey, look at that, my mouse is disappearing. Alright, anyways. Well, I got a couple of bit of exciting news, couple little pieces here. First piece is, I'm making my return to doing RTS tutorials and continuing with my RTS game. I think that should excite a lot of people. So there we go. I'm going to be making a return. I'm going to be doing RTS tutorials again and continuing on my RTS game, as well as continuing with my previously known as Seaman remake. It no longer has anything to do with Seaman. It's an exciting new project that I started back, I think, 2 months ago, and coming along very nicely. I'm going to be doing that as well. Those of you who have seen my, Seaman remake videos and technology that I've developed for it, so like I said, it's no longer known as Seaman, and it has nothing to do with Seaman at all. But all the source code for that is going to be released within the next day or so. So everybody will have full access to my source code for the dynamic conversation scripting and the code to do so, and all the nice interfaces I have. Well, they're really not nice because they're developed for me. They weren't really developed for the public. So you do need to have a little bit of C++ know-how to really get to use them, so you can see how they work. But yes, all my Seaman code is definitely being released to the public within the next day or so, as well as I finished my dynamic conversation scripting app. So now you not only do you have the source code, but you also have the application I developed to make conversations with very much ease of use. So to recap, we got Return to RTS making tutorials, and we also have me going back to doing my RTS game because I haven't touched it in a while. Secondly, we also have me releasing all my source code for my my speech recognition game. We'll put it that way. As well as a dynamic conversation scripting app that I've showed, I think, 2 or 3 videos on in progress. But it's actually final. Not final. It's all done. It works. It does responses and questions. You can just do that, and plugs right into my source code. Hold on. Thank you. Plugs right into my source code, or your guys' source code now. But and I just want to show you it's all done and how to use it. And this tutorial, it's a tutorial as well. How to use my dynamic conversation scripting application that I finished. Now, there will be obviously modifications in the future to this application, but as of right now, it is fully working. But there are some things that I envisioned that I do still want to complete on it, but it is working fully. Everything's auto-completed, auto-done, but definitely can get better, and it will get better because I'm not done with it, but it is done. So enough of all talking. I just want to let you guys know how to use this. So I hate the mouse is disappearing. Anyways, so we have 3 apps. These 3 apps need to be located in the same directory. In this case, they're all on my desktop because I have 3. Dynamic Conversation Scripting Front End, Dynamic Conversation Scripting Questions app, and Dynamic Conversation Scripting Response app. Now you start it up with the Dynamic Conversation Scripting Front End. You do not touch the Dynamic Conversation Scripting app or the other scripting app. You just open the front end. These need to be in the same directory because of the fact that using this front end will load start up these other files when needed. So there we go. Only start this through the front end and make sure they're all 3 in the same directory. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, Dynamic Conversations front end, and open this up. Okay, we have this app right here. There's going to be a tutorial later on how to fully use this app and exactly how to use it, because there are a couple things you need to be aware of and certain ways you need to use it. but this is just showing you basically how to use it. And I'm going to show you actually it works. So I'm going to plug it into my system so you can actually see how it works. And I'm not going to, have you guys be like, oh, well, you say that it can plug right into your system, but we haven't seen it. So I'm going to show you that as well. So let's go ahead and do it. And right now we don't have a file. Well, we do, but for the purposes, we're going to create a file. And they all have helpers when you hover over these. Okay, so we have create new file. Creates a new dynamic conversation file. Only click this button if there isn't one already. In this case, there isn't. This button allows you to script a computer question and then how the user should respond. And make that a based on response is this button allows you to script a user question and then how the computer should respond. And they both say that you will need to select a conversations file. Since we don't have one, let's go ahead and create one. So let's go ahead and create a new file. And go ahead and put it on our desktop. And click OK. Oh, it's all done. And you can see it's on my desktop now. Let's go ahead and open this up. And there's nothing in it. See? It creates a blank setup. Basically needed. We have dynamic conversations, dynamic questions, dynamic responses. It's a blank setup. Okay, now let's go ahead and make data based on question. So click it. It's now opened up my dynamic conversation scripting app, and it's going to ask me to select a conversations file, which is an XML. Okay. In this case, we're not going to use the one that's already there. We're going to go to the desktop, and we're going to open up my dynamic conversations file. Now that we've done it, you can see we have use existing question. This allows you to, if you already have a computer question scripted, you can go ahead and click this box. Everything grays out as necessary. And select an already existing question so that you may add a response to it, an already existing question. Okay? As you can see, everything's auto-completed, as in these are grayed out. You will not be able to type it. Previously, it was up to the user to actually type in these values, and it could get you can mix things up really easily and fuck things up really bad. Currently, everything is actually auto-completed. It does everything for you. All you need to worry about mainly is making your question, putting in variables if you so desire, feeling, as he'll only ask this question if he's feeling a certain way. And if he's going to wait for a response, meaning is it a question he's asking or is it just a statement he's making, not waiting for the user to make a response. We got the responses tab, and you navigate with these tabs here. Even though you see next button here, this currently doesn't work. I'm going to remove it. I haven't yet. And just navigate to the tops here. We have play response, which we go ahead and just write a response and select what feeling that our response is going to add points to, what feeling, meaning what feeling is going to make the computer. And then review page. Our review page is going to show us a conversations file to make sure we're editing the right file and just allowing us to review our data. And then we can click finalize. Very important, you can only click this finalize once. If you click it twice, it will mess up the file. It's only meant to be clicked once, just remember. So let's go ahead and add a question. Everything is auto-completed so that questions will match up, computer questions will match up appropriately to the user responses, and in my other app, user responses will appropriately match up to user questions. It's all auto-completed, and trust me, this was very, very difficult to achieve on this auto-completion stuff and making everything match up automatically and only allowing you to type in the questions and some variables and feelings. So this is very hard. I'm very proud of myself. So let's go ahead. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to type in a question he can ask us. How are you feeling today, Rich? Oops. In this case, we don't know what the user's name is going to be, obviously. So we're going to use an underscore, exclamation point, because he's going to be happy. He's going to be, saying it exclamation-wise. How are you feeling today? Underscore. So underscore is going to be where a variable is going to be placed. Question number 1, because there's no questions currently in our file. It's empty, so it's going to be question number 1. ID of 1. Question ID is not going to be written at all because, remember, a user response is appropriate when its response ID is the same A response ID is the is considered a user response is considered valid when the response ID is the same as the question. So the question ID is not considered, so it's left blank. It doesn't write it. But when you script a user question and how the computer should respond, the question ID will be filled in instead of the response ID. So each different app, the user response app and the computer response app, they fill in different fields to allow them to match up appropriately based on the question. So everything is going to be fine. Just a little technical note. This response ID is 0. Reason being because 0 in my system, my C++ side, means that there is no question that this will link to. 0 means that this question does not link to anything. Why? Because we're not waiting for a response. Because he's not asking a question, he's making a statement. There's no need for the user to respond, hence we have a response ID of 0. Let's go ahead and type in the question. How are... Hold on, let me just fix my keyboard. My spacebar was undone. So, how are you today? Underscore, which will be a variable placed there. You want it to be my name. How are you today? Underscore. And for variables, we're going to use player name variable, meaning that the player's name in the game is going to be substituted with the underscore. So, how are you today, Rich? Feeling, he'll ask this feeling if he's feeling neutral. Okay, and yes, he's going to wait for a response because it is a question. And you're going to see that it's automatically response ID is 1, saying yes, we're going to link it to a response that has a response ID of 1. Let's go ahead to the next page. Boom. And since this is the first response in the file because it was empty, it's going to be a response number of 1, ID of 1. I'm not going to write the question ID. And it's going to write the response ID of 1. So it's matching it up. We have a response ID of 1, response ID of 1. So whatever I type here is going to be an appropriate response to whatever he said. And we're going to add some points to his neutral feeling, just for testing. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, guys. Hold on for a second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of my son. He just woke up and he was crying. Okay. Anyways, so let's go ahead to a response. And how are you doing today, Rich? We're going to just say one appropriate response could be not too bad. And remember, my system is interpretive. It's not keyword-based, so I don't have to say not too bad exactly for it to be accepted. I can say not too bad, I guess, not too bad, my friend. It's not going too bad. And it'll all be accepted because it's not keyword-based, it is interpretive. That's what's awesome about my system. So not too bad is a base response. Anything that sounds similar to this will work. Not too bad, and ID of 1. Okay. And it's going to add some neutral points to his ceiling. By the way, in the past you may have been thinking that this drop down of how I say something, how it makes them feel that way. That is not true. To clarify what this does is it adds 1 point, currently 1 point, to his whatever feeling you choose here. It doesn't make him. That would be stupid if you said something and it changes his feeling just on your question. What it does is it adds to a certain score of these, and then each frame it generates his feelings, and it decides which score is higher, and that will be his feelings. That's how that works. Okay, so we got this here. Let's go ahead and review. Yes, we're working with the conversations file under our desktop. And question data. I'm turning the TV down. Adventure time for my son. Anyways, conversations file. Question number is 1, or response number is 1. This is very important. Make sure this is completed, and you do review and make sure everything is okay before you click finalize, because there is no functionality to delete response data. There will be none, I don't believe. I don't think I'm going to make that for a specific reason. So make sure that everything's correct before you click finalize, okay? Anyways, how are you today is the question. Response is not too bad. ID of 1 is fine. Question ID, yep, fine. Response ID of 1, good. These are matching, meaning this response is one response that could be valid for this question. Doesn't mean you'll pick this response for this question, but it is a valid response. If you had more responses to this one question, like if you had not too bad, or I'm doing fine, or well, today was a shitty day, well, you'd go ahead and on this question, you'd use the existing question, make sure you select the how are you today, and then go ahead and add new responses to it, so you can have different things you can say. Currently, we just have one. Let's see, feeling neutral, so these things are linked. Yep, we're waiting for a response, and we have a player name variable. Awesome. Let's go ahead and click finalize. Boop. Okay, finalize is done. Now, you do have to close the app after you're done. So go ahead and close the app. Make sure we start up the front end again. And if you want to check out the conversation file, let's double click it. As you can see, we have question 1 with all the appropriate information, and we have response 1 with all the appropriate information. Okay? So we're not going to be creating a new file because that would be stupid. We already have one. So let's go ahead and make data based on response this time. So let's go ahead. It's going to open up a response app now. And choose our file. Yep. We have a conversations file. And as you can see, now we script what the user says and how the computer should respond. And as you can see, it already read the file, and it knows that we already have one existing response in there. And ID of 2. Question ID of 2. See, it already completed the question now. And doesn't do the response at all. But we're going to be using an existing response, which is obviously, let's check that checkbox here, and it's going to make sure you can't write in any of these or change the feelings. And let's go ahead and click not too bad, because we're going to, they said, how are you today, Rich? And we're going to say not too bad. And then it's going to respond, blah, 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 okay? So he said, how are you today? We said not too bad. Now we're going to say what the computer says if we say not too bad. So I went in and clicked it, and we have it auto-filled. We have the question ID of 1, a response ID of 1. This was here because, remember, the other app filled that in for us. We can't change anything. We're not supposed to, so not too bad. So how should the computer respond? How are you today, Rich? Not too bad. Well, I'm... Whoops. Well, I'm glad. So, what do you want to do today? Question mark. Well, I'm glad. So, what do you want to do today? An ID of 2, yes, it detected we already had an existing question, so it made it number 2. ID of 2, question ID of 1. Response ID is not going to write. Variables, no, we don't need any variables. Feeling, he's going to ask if he's going to say this if he's feeling neutral. And yes, he's waiting for a response. It's a question. So what do you want to do today? Waiting for a response. Let's go ahead and click that. Go to review, make sure everything is fine. Our conversation file is okay. Response number of 1. That's because we chose an existing response, meaning we're not going to write the response data again because it's already existing, but we're just making a new question that links up to this question. So response number of 1. Yeah. Question number 2, awesome. If we say not too bad, then one of the things that the computer can say, one of the things is, well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today? An ID of 1, yeah. Question ID of, an ID of 2, yeah. Question ID, because what we say and how the computer should respond is determined by the question ID, whereas what the computer says and how we should respond is determined by the response ID. So the question ID of 1 and question ID of 1, yep, these are linked appropriately. And if we say not too bad, it's going to add some neutral points to his feelings. And he's going to say this if he's feeling neutral. Don't worry, Jeffrey, I'll put some more Adventure Time on for you. Okay, so yes, everything's working fine. Let's go ahead and finalize this. Awesome. Let's close our app. Open Dynamic Conversations. Make sure, let's see. Yep, question 2 is written. And only one response, yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and make data based on question again. Basically, you're going to be alternating between based on question, based on response. There's going to be a better workflow in the future, but I wasn't concerned about workflow. I was more concerned about getting the functionality. So let's go ahead and load it from my desktop. And yep, question number is 3 because we already have 2 questions in there. Or computer responses, I should say. So let me just let you know this is kind of misleading when I say question and response. What it is a question is what the computer says and a response is what the user says, okay? For future reference here. So, yep, it would be fine if we're creating a new one, 3, and ID of 3, yeah. But we're going to be using existing computer question. So select the checkbox and make sure we drop down. Well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today? So what can we say to this? What can we say when the computer says, well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today? Everything's all set. Everything's checked out. Let's go ahead to responses. We can say, what do you want to do today? Nothing really. I just want to chill today. Nothing really. I just want to chill today. And yep, this is number 2 response because we only have 1 response in there already in the file. And how will it make them feel? Well, you know, neutral. Add some neutral points. And I'm going to use another feeling for my next thing, just to show you the feeling system. I added some console commands to CryEngine so I can change his feelings on the fly to test different responses. So we'll add 1 upset in here. Upset feeling in the question. And let's see, blah, blah, blah. Not really, I just want to chill today, so let's go ahead and review. Yep, write questions file. Question number 2, response number 2, yeah. It's not going to write the question data again because obviously we're using an existing question. But when you're using just a technical fact, for those of you interested, we're not writing the question data because it's already existing. We're just adding a new response linked to this. But it does write one thing. It does write the question response ID because the response ID is never written. So when you use an existing question, it goes ahead and it writes the response ID to make sure it matches up. So the only thing in the question data that it writes when you're using an existing question is the response ID. And on the response app, when you're using the existing response, it doesn't write the response data, but what it does write the question ID. So make sure everything links up. So 2, well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today? Nothing really. I just want to chill today. ID of 2, question ID of 1. Yep, that's fine. We're not linking a computer question to a response. We're linking a we're not linking a user response with the computer question. So that's good. Response ID 2, awesome. So this response is going to be accepted as appropriate for his question. Feeling is neutral. He's going to say this only if he's feeling neutral, and we're going to add some neutral points to his feeling when we say that. Wait for response. Yes, he's waiting for response. And we're not going to use any variables today. So, yeah, everything's fine. Let's go ahead and finalize. And now we're going to close out. Open up our front end. We're going to do another one. Make data based on question. Just to show some of my feeling system, just a little bit. Go ahead and open up again. And we're going to use an existing question. And, well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today? Oh, whoops, my bad. Exit. Open the front end. Make data based on response. And conversation, blah, blah. Use existing response. And nothing really. I just want to chill today. Okay. Everything's filled in, obviously. So when I say nothing really, I just want to chill today, what can you say? Well, it's going to say, okay, sounds good to me. Okay, sounds good to me. And He's going to say that if he's feeling neutral, and he's not going to be waiting for a response. Okay, stop, Jeffrey. No touching, okay? Go sit down.
One feeling?
I already gave you some soda, buddy. Too much soda isn't good for you. Here, have some of this juice. You can have that instead. What do you say? What do you say? You're welcome, honey. All right. And he's going to say, okay, sounds good to me. When we say, nothing really, I just want to chill today. Okay, sounds good to me. And he's going to say that if he's feeling neutral, okay? And wait for a response. Now he's not going to wait for a response. So let's go ahead and review. Yep, right conversations file. Response number 2, question number 3, yep. Third question, second response. ID of 2, ID of 3, yep. Question ID of 2, question ID of 2, yes, these will match up appropriately. These are fine here because we're not linking that way. We're linking with the question ID this time. Feeling is neutral. It's going to ask some neutral points to his feeling. And he's going to ask us if he's only feeling neutral. Okay, sounds good to me. Remember, okay, sounds good to me is going to be when he's feeling neutral. Okay? Wait for response. He's not going to wait for a response. Okay, we're all done. Let's go ahead and finalize. Awesome. Let's go ahead and make that a based on response again, because I want to show off my feeling system just a little bit, just to show that it does work. Not too glorious or anything, but I just want to show it works. Well, I haven't seen anybody else do something like this, but I'm saying it's not like, oh wow. I mean, it's just going to show that my feeling system does work when selecting responses. Well, it's taken into account when selecting responses. So we're going to use an existing question. And we're going to choose nothing really. I just want to chill today. Everything's filled in. Before, we had him say, oh, okay, sounds good to me. But this time we're going to have him say, wow, you sure are lazy. Wow, you sure are lazy. And when we say nothing, I just want to chill today. Because before we had one that says, okay, sounds good to me if he's feeling neutral. But now he's going to say, wow, you sure are lazy if he's feeling upset. So if he's feeling neutral, he's going to say, okay, sounds good to me. But if he's feeling upset, he's going to say, wow, you sure are lazy. And nope, he's not going to wait for a response. And response number 2, yep. Question number 4, it's the fourth question, yeah. Response, nothing really, just want to chill today. Question, wow, you sure are lazy, yeah. ID of 2, ID of 4, question ID of 2, question ID of 2, see? It maintained it. These responses are linked, awesome. Response ID of 2, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. Feeling neutral, it's going to add some neutral feelings. And he's going to only say this if he's feeling upset. Wow, you sure are lazy feeling upset. Okay. So, yep, everything's fine. Let's go ahead and finalize. Okay. All right, guys. This fucking mouse that disappears if I keep my mouse moving, it's fine. If I just let it stay still, it disappears. It's so stupid. It just recently started happening. Anyways. Let's go to my CryEngine game. Because this conversation file does need to be placed in a certain directory, game code, game DLL, my files, XML, dynamic conversations, and I'll just delete the old one that's there. Because now that I have the app, it's so easy to make new conversations, not a hassle. Okay, so yeah, I'll delete this too. I don't need this. So now it's in the proper folder. And let's go ahead and start Visual Studio. Oh, by the way, guys, I've acquired a license for the professional ultimate version of the Visual C++, which is awesome. I'm excited about. But I'm going to be using Visual C++ Express just so that everybody can follow along in my tutorials, okay? Let's see. Okay, this is it. Now, I am going to change a couple of things in my code for a couple of reasons. It's not to get the code to work with My thing, it's just because I don't have any questions to ask for the player's name. So it has no way of knowing your name. So I'm going to let my system know what my name is to begin with before it even starts. Okay. So okay. Where are you? There you are. Seaman. That's CVP. I gotta change these names to something else. And let's go to my Seaman feelings. There we go. Oh, I gotta go to the H file. Duh. Okay. So let's go to my Seaman feelings class. Seaman memory. Oh, whoops, that's what I need. Seaman memory. And player name, I'm not gonna change it. I already did, but. Player name, we're going to give it a default value in the constructor of Rich, so it knows my name to begin with, and that's all we're going to do. I just wanted to show you that I gave it a default name for me because in this tutorial, I did not make a question to ask for the user's name. So just for simplicity, I just gave it a default value here. And that's all. We just plugged it in and made sure it knew our first name. That's all. So I don't need a save. Cancel. Don't need to save. Did it make any changes? Hello? Oh, yeah. No. No. Oh, okay. So, let's go ahead and start this up. CryEngine game. Bin64. Launcher. Okay. No. Yeah, launcher. Duh. Launcher. And you don't need a specific level. My code works with any level. It doesn't really work with the editor, though. Does with the launcher, but does not work with the editor, so you can't use my code in the editor. Let's go ahead here. Oh, Lord. Okay. It may freeze on me. Blah, 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 blah. Damn it, I should have started up my speech recognition before this. Sometimes when I start my app, it automatically starts the speech recognition, and a lot of times it freezes it. Man. Hold on. Control-Alt-Delete. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm in the Control-Alt-Delete menu. I don't know if you can. But, let's end it. End it. Okay. So, speech recognition. You're going to listen to everything I say, okay? And give it a couple minutes, guys. I really hate this. I'm sorry. I should have started it up before I started CryEngine. Damn it. Because when it starts up with CryEngine, because it auto starts the speech recognition when I start CryEngine, it freaking freezes. So I should have started it. Even though I've clicked on listening quite a few times, it just freezes, so I have to wait. I'm really sorry. Oh my Lord. Screw this. I'm going to shut my speech recognition off and start it up. Normal. Okay, good. I hate my mouse doing this. I don't know. It doesn't do this when I'm not recording now. I have noticed. Maybe I'll turn that off. And Steam too. How about Steam goes off? Anyways, Windows speech recognition. Like I said, I'm really sorry. Start listening. Come on. Oh my god, I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, finally. Whew, okay. Please, don't get mad at me. Alright, now let's start it up. Starting the forest. Alright, you guys should be able to hear the computer. Get the volume all the way turned up.
How are you today, Rich?
Remember, I have not too bad. Well, let me just say not too bad, I guess. Okay? Just to show you that it can understand that just as well, even though it's not scripted in there. So, here we go. Not too bad, I guess.
Well, I'm glad. So what do you want to do today?
Okay. Yeah, my speech recognition, just the software, the actual Windows speech recognition was giving me issues, as you know. That's why it took so long. It thought I was still listening. It was still listening. But anyways, it does not take that long to respond. It's immediate. But anyways, let's look at the log that I printed out so you guys can see. I said, not too bad, I guess. And he responded, obviously. So what do you want to do today? Remember, you just heard it. So I said, not too bad, I guess. Well, that's what it thought I said. Percentage that response, not too bad, is correct, is 80%, meaning that it went ahead and calculated that not too bad is a response, but not too bad, I guess, is 80% correct. That's what it calculated. That's my system calculated. It says, well, not too bad, I guess, is an 80% chance of being correct of the actual response of not too bad. So good, it has an 80% probability of being correct with what I said. And the response that was chosen has 80% probability of being correct, choosing not too bad as the response. Response added to the neutral feeling. So what we said added to its neutral feeling. And AI is now feeling neutral. So he asked me, what do I want to do today? I'm going to say, nothing really, I just want to chill today. Nothing really, I just want to chill today.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Like I said, I assure you, you see my past videos, this does not take this long to respond. My speech recognition software, Windows speech recognition, not mine, but Windows speech recognition software is taking way too long, probably because it's having glitches like you saw earlier. I just have to redeem myself there. It's not my system that's slow. It never happens. This is the first time. Nothing really. I just want to chill today. It just so happens that didn't output very correctly, but percentage that response is correct is 100%, meaning what I said was exactly what was the response, and it's 100% correct. And the response that was chosen has 100% probability of being correct, so it's choosing, that response. I don't know why it doesn't output correctly, but anyways, response added to the neutral feeling. AI is now feeling neutral. So he said, okay, sounds good to me. But now, because he's feeling neutral, but now let's say the same thing, but make him angry, or upset, I mean. So I get a console command that I made, so I'm going to type it in, make upset. We're going to make him upset. Good. make upset is my console command that I added. Executing console command make upset, and I made him upset. So now he's feeling upset. So now let's say the same thing. Nothing really. I just want to chill today.
Wow, you sure are lazy.
Okay. The percentage that the response is correct is 87.5%. Why? Because nothing really. I just want to show today. It didn't detect that I said chill. It said show. So this response has a 7.5% probability of being correct because show is not detected correctly. That's one of the reasons why I developed my system. That way it allows for the speech recognition software to make errors in what you say, and you can also say things that are not exactly scripted. So that's two purposes it serves. Even though the software didn't quite recognize what I said, it doesn't stop it from recognizing. So it's 87% 0.5% chance that it's correct. And response added to neutral feeling, and he's now feeling upset. So let's go ahead. He's feeling upset. So let's make him neutral again. Executing console command, make neutral, made neutral. Let's ask them the same question. Nothing really. I just want to chill today.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay, so the response, the percentage that response is valid is 66.96%. Reason being, because it messed up on two of the words. Nothing really. I just wanted shield today. So again, the software wasn't quite understanding what I was saying, but again, my system accounts for that and allows it to still be able to recognize what you're saying. Awesome, 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 awesome. And he's feeling neutral again. Reason being, I told him I made him neutral. Okay? So let's go ahead and make him angry, okay? I made him angry. Now he won't respond at all because I have no responses that are in there that he'll say when he's angry. Nothing really. I just want to chill today. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. As you can see, it's my software. Well, Windows software. It was in listening mode for far too long. But anyways, everything's all fine. I showed you some of the console commands. There's a console command for every feeling to force him to be angry or upset or whatever. So I can test my debugging. So I can test my different responses based on how he's feeling. I'm releasing the Dynamic Conversation Scripting app, so you guys can get on scripting. I'm releasing my source code for this as well, full source code. You kind of have to be experienced in C++ to really understand what I'm doing. It is quite complex, not too complex, but it is. You'll need to know a little bit of C++. It's not user-friendly because, again, it wasn't made for the public. It was made for me and my purposes. But I'll still release it. Again, I'm making my way back to RTS, and I'm going to be doing tutorials for that again, starting immediately. Also, I promised a tutorial on animation graph. It's not that I just didn't do it. It's because I've been really busy, as you can see. I have a lot of stuff I'm doing. But yeah, I hope you guys are happy, and I really hope you guys like this, the whole news I gave you today, and the tutorial on how to use my app. So guys, please comment, rate, good or bad, like through comments, and I would really appreciate it. I want your feedback, please. I'm begging you. I do these tutorials for you guys. The least you can do is leave me some feedback. Okay? Thank you guys very much, and see you another time.